when you shoot 25% from the field, it's very rare when you can win a basketball game. And credit goes to Dayton for making us physically uncomfortable and putting us in positions where it was difficult for us to score. Their physicality and their size inside affected us greatly. And, we missed a lot of point blank shots early. And against a good team like Dayton, you cannot do that. The group that we finished the fourth quarter with, I thought for the first time this year, played with some real grit and some real toughness, and was really happy with how they dove on the floor and dug on the post and drove it to the lane. And I was happy with that group at the end.
Dan, we'll get the elephant out of the room early. Just how, regardless of what the circumstance or timetable was, just how frustrating was it to lose Amanda, especially the way that she appeared to go down?
I don't know if I'd call it frustrating. I'd just call it really sadness, to be frank. Obviously I can't show that type of emotion when I walk into the locker room at halftime. But our kids were very much devastated in the locker room at halftime with what they saw. And, I can't really say much because I don't know much. She's in with a doctor right now. But obviously, if you saw it, and I did see it, it's not good.
You mentioned, we've talked about practice, how you haven't had the male practice players. How tough is it not having those practice players in a situation like this against a physical Dayton team when you haven't played in 2 weeks?
It doesn't have anything to do with us not playing for 2 weeks. It's just matching up with that type of size and that type of strength. They have good quickness, but their overall strength and size is tremendous. It's really, really good. It's top 25 good. They're a very good team. They have great size, and they don't just have one or two. They have 5 post players that are all 6'3" and big, strong women. Just kids that just wear on you, and they're very good at platooning them. Not having male practice players it hurts, and it's going to hurt us the rest of the year. We're not going to be able to have them back, and that's the way it goes. So we'll have to find alternative ways to get ourselves better. And the biggest one is the level of competition in practice, which I've been saying for weeks has to be different. And the people who don't play as many minutes cannot defer to people who starts. And we've had too much deferring to upperclassmen, and we've got to be more competitive in practice.
How do you balance that competition in practice with maintaining a proper level of physicality, but also understanding you can't afford to lose anybody, Dan?
I don't know the answer to that. It's a very difficult year when you lose 2 kids that are very good players that are really the foundation of what your team is going to be. And I had expected Hallie Bovell to be returning anytime soon, to be returning around this time also, and that's not going to happen this year either. So that's the situation we are in, and we have to have growth with the people that are here and that can play, and that growth is not going to be pretty. It's going to be a situation where it's going to have to be a dogfight for every game, and we're going to have to do a better job as coaches, as players, and find ways to win, because we have a lot of inexperience, and that inexperience, that don't cut it with me anymore. We've got to find a way to win, even though we have youth.
How critical then, Dan, will these next few days be between now and between Friday, finding voices, again, finding combinations, and just finding that something, whatever that ambiguous something is?
Well, I wouldn't call it something. I would call it flow and rhythm. And we have that when Meg McConnell is in the game. And so you can pretty much be assured that Meg McConnell is going to be a big part of that. Beyond that, I couldn't tell you what's going to happen. We had some kids that scrapped tonight, and we had some kids that were disappointing. And without looking at the game tape, I don't really want to comment further because there may be something different that the tape shows me, and I need to look at that first.
Do
Any
you
more
see
questions?
in terms of shooting, what can your team do to kind of put this game behind you, especially so early on in conference play?
Well, this has not been a one-time thing. We've never been this poor of a shooting team. We're a team that prides itself on scoring and being able to score the ball, and we are really struggling to score. You can't shoot 25% for the game and be 3 for 18 from the three-point line. That's very unlike us. To our kids' credit, they drove the ball when shots weren't falling. We always have a mantra of when the shots aren't falling to drive it really hard and try to get to the free throw line and get ourselves started there. And we did have a little bit of success there. But going back to Zach's question, we really don't have flow and we don't have the right combinations yet. We're still trying to find out what works and who works together. And I think this tape will tell a lot as we move forward. And it'll be interesting to see where we are on Friday.
Dan, to piggyback off of that, given that you're not necessarily sure on combinations, do you think things from a schematics offensive need to change where whatever these ladies are good at, maybe you have to tailor to that? Or is it just, hey, it's midseason, you got to suck it up and you have to adjust to whatever we're telling you and try to put yourself in the best positions?
Well, we turned down shots way too much. Our screening action can be better. We've got to be better screeners. But then, Dayton went underneath every screen and dared us to shoot, and we did not take enough shots. And, we have to take more shots when we're available and when we're open, and maybe not defer to an upperclassman. And I think we saw that late. Does the schemes need to change? Yeah, anytime you're 2 and 4 and you're shooting as poorly as we do, you have to look at what does work. And it's not, you can't have a moral victory by saying, well, we got the shot. Great, we got the shot. We ran an action that got us the shot, but it didn't go in. So, what does that mean? Does that mean that, you have to play more in transition and more with a free-flowing type of offense, more of a motion-based offense and less sets? I don't know the answers to that right now. There'll be a heavy emphasis on tape for myself and for my assistants over the next couple of days, and we'll be searching for answers.
Any more questions?
The young lady, what is your name?
Natalie Heverin. I
Natalie.
spoke with you, I think, in October.
Yes, you're from George Mason, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, Natalie, I appreciate you for being on the call. And Zach, I appreciate you for being on the call. I wanted to make sure that you guys both understood that. I appreciate it.
Thanks as always, Dan. I know this is tough, so just thanks for doing this.
I appreciate you guys supporting women's basketball and caring enough so that we can do a press conference and have the media that we have. So I do appreciate both of you. And it is tough, but, we've got to figure out ways. And this is a very unusual year, and this is I haven't been in this circumstance for about 50. I haven't been in this circumstance for about 22 years, where I've been 2 and 4, and you're just hoping that the next day that you can practice by testing negative, and so it's a very interesting year.
Great. Thanks, Dan. Really appreciate it.
Thank you all.
Safe travels back.
Thank you. You all take care. Thank you.